And we are live Q&A session. I hope everything's worked okay. I know I'm already seeing a lot of you guys pop up in the comment section, which I'm recognizing all your faces because you guys are normally on the Patreon one when we do the Patreon live streams. So I know that you guys got it because I posted it on the Discord. So I know you guys have no problem connecting. I'm just wondering if it's actually gone live on the normal YouTube because I'm seeing all the regular faces in here, but I'm not recognizing some less common names. So I'm hoping it's kind of gone out on the main YouTube channel. If anyone can confirm that they're seeing this on YouTube and none of the Patreon members, that'd be absolutely amazing because I'm thinking we've only got 17 viewers in here, and I would expect if it's on the main YouTube channel, we'd be at least over 100. There we go. I'm getting a few updates here. Yep, awesome. Hopefully you got it scheduled as well. I didn't notice if it was like I tried to give like a half an hour's warning that I was doing this. I don't know if there was a warning on YouTube that this was going to happen. I tried to do it. I don't know if it went out there. But yeah, hopefully that all worked and I'm not taking anyone's surprise. But yeah, doing a live Q&A session. Not done one of these on the main YouTube channel for a long time. I think last time we did a live Q&A session on the YouTube channel would have been maybe like a year ago. So yeah, we normally actually only do these on the Patreon. We normally do these on the Patreon probably like every 2 weeks, but I thought, you know what, let's do one on the YouTube channel today. Probably be the last time we do one for like a year-ish. So make sure it's worth it, and I'll answer any of the questions in the comment section in a few minutes. I'll give a few minutes for people to join as well. But yeah, I haven't done one for a while. Probably last one we'll do for a while, for a bit though. And yeah, I thought we'll do a live Q&A session today. Reason being is that I was a little bit short on time to actually do a proper video. And I thought, you know what, I said I was going to do a video on Monday, so I've got to deliver on that. And I thought, you know what, a live Q&A session is a good one to do. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a crazy day. Didn't have enough time to kind of a few things going on. Didn't have time to sit down and plan a video. So normally when I actually do a video on YouTube, if I'm talking about an individual stock, it takes like a couple of hours to do the research, and I just didn't have time to do it. I was thinking about doing one on Revolution Beauty today, but I just didn't have the time to sit down and get all the like screenshots together and the research together. So I thought I can't do that. And sometimes the easy video, I'll let you into a bit of a behind the scenes secret here. So when I do them videos like research on like a stock like Revolution Beauty, them videos take me hours to put together. If I'm doing like a bit of an update on like news that's just recently happened, they actually don't take that long to put together. They probably only take maybe an hour or something, and not including the time to like record, edit, upload it, make the thumbnail. That adds on a little bit longer. But like a recent news update are so much quicker to do. But I just looked out there and I was like, there's not really any big news out there today, I would say. So I didn't really have much to talk about from that point of view. And also that I think sometimes the news videos can get a bit boring. I've noticed that that's very popular now on YouTube nowadays, is that I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers that actually just kind of talk about what's happened in the news today, or the stocks are up today, stocks are down today. And there's not much talk of like deep dives into stocks anymore. And that's probably because the videos take ages to put together. So it's a bit gutting when you do all the research and then it's like your worst performing video. It's a bit like, oh no, really. So I don't blame people for doing less of them because they seem to get a lot of less tension as well. So yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of new subs on the YouTube channel recently. We're nearly pushing 13,000 subscribers. The most subscribers that we've seen join for a long time. I think that's because we kind of, you know, it's always stupid. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read Peter Lynch, One on Wall Street, One Up on Wall Street. But basically he goes on to say like when stocks are like really popular and everyone's talking about them at a party, then that's a really bad time to be investing into stocks. And when no one's talking about stocks and everyone's disinterested in stocks, that's when you want to be buying stocks. And it's like right now, like stocks are going down, no one's interested, no one's watching stock market videos on YouTube. Probably the best time to be buying. And, you know, you look at February 2022 when everybody was watching YouTube videos on stocks and it was all crazy, like that's probably the worst time to be investing. And look how that did turn out, really. So yeah, and also a little bit of a shout out as well to the Instagram. I don't know if many of you guys know about this, but a few weeks ago, there was actually someone that made a fake Instagram account of me. I had no idea why they'd want to do that, but clearly did it. I think it turned out that they were sending a lot of direct messages about cryptocurrencies. That was the first giveaway. It wasn't me that I'm talking about crypto, but they were sending a lot of direct messages about like crypto and join this for crypto stuff. And the worst thing is that the actual account, the fake account of me, actually had, I don't know how they did this, but I guess it's through bots and everything and fake accounts, but they actually got more followers than me. And yeah, it was insane. They just had a fake account about me. But I think unless they blocked my personal account, I think it's actually been taken away from or blocked, or Instagram got rid of it off Instagram, which is absolutely amazing. And that's probably down to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are messaging me. I mentioned it on the video, and you guys were all reporting that fake account, and it seems to have got taken down. So I'll thank you to you guys. Unless they've blocked me on my personal account as well, then it could still be there, but I think it's gone. So yeah, by the way, if you're not following the Instagram, make sure you do give it a follow. It's like on the edge of like 3,500 followers, so if you can get it with that, that'd be absolutely amazing. And if you want to join, if you enjoy this live stream, we'll try to go for half an hour, but if you do enjoy it and want more regular ones, this is probably the only one I do on the YouTube channel for like in the next year. But if you do want more regular ones, Patreon's the place to be. We do at least, I'd say, 2 a month. We do a lot of exclusive content on there. But yeah, I'd say we do at least 2 live streams a month, I would say. So yeah, anyway, I've been babbling on for like 6 minutes. So hopefully this has given time for everyone who wanted to join, time to join. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, just fire them away in the comments box, and we'll see how many we get through. So we've got David joining us. David's a regular person who joins us all the time. A regular person, a regular Patreon member. That's what I meant to say. From Warwickshire. I've been to Warwickshire. It's lovely, lovely place. Think of starting a position in Ball. Do not blame you. That valuation is just absolutely insane in the moment. I mean, was it 7 times earnings? The revenue growth was obviously insane this year. The profit growth was insane, but it had easy comps to beat. I mean, going forward, we've got the acquisition coming in from Canada. But I still think they'll grow decent rates. You're going to get a good dividend. I can't remember exactly what the dividend is. I think it's something like a 4 or 5% yield. It's decent. So yeah, I do not blame you at all. The last buy that I personally made was Hollywood Ball last week. So we're thinking very similar here. Running Man, another regular face. Here we go. Boohoo at 0.3 price sales ratio. So the price, something we are missing. I mean, that's the thing, is that at the moment, Boohoo is going through obviously there's a lot of pressure on through negativity through short sellers. But the thing as well with Boohoo is that it's kind of getting priced like it's going to stay at these sort of levels. Like it's going to stay at few percent growth a year. No one's out there thinking this is going to continue to grow 20, 30% a year. It's getting priced at that, its profit margins are going to be very slim, if anything, maybe losing money. So at the moment, Boohoo is very much priced at that it's going to stay at where it is right now going forward. So if Boohoo do come around with very good growth again, get back to 4 or 5% profit margins, you'll do okay. I've actually just put on the Discord that Umar on Instagram has just posted a post saying that they've launched the Pretty Little Thing marketplace. So actually, that could have actually been a video for today, but I think that was only about an hour ago. So yeah, that's something that we've been waiting for a while that's launched, which is great. We've got Fergie joining us, another regular face. We all love Fergie. We've got David joining us. Dipesh, I hope I said that right. Got the replies to the that it's on YouTube, which is absolutely great. Thank you for that. We've got the notification as well. Excellent. Great stuff. I'm guessing this is you guys talking to each other, and I'm missing this out here. How's the rumble? Is that the SPAC that is with Andrew Tate's company that he's trying to set up? I don't know. I'm taking a guess there. You'll have to confirm. I know you confirm later down in the comments, and we'll get to that. Them ads, they're getting, YouTube ads are getting a little bit more, aren't they? Like I noticed, like the other day, you used to just watch that one advert, and now they seem to be doubling up them adverts, don't they? Hey, Halloween and bonfire night before Christmas, don't skip it out. James says, what trading platform do I use? Investing platform. Investing. I don't like the word. If you're a long-term investor, Do not use the word trading. Honestly, I don't like it. Investing. What investing platform do I use? I use Trading 212 and DEGIRO. I split between them both. I started off with DEGIRO. I started investing 6 years ago now, something like that. I started investing like 6 years ago. 6 years ago, the trading platforms in the UK were like crazy limited. And the ones that did exist were expensive. I think like Halifax was like £7 to do a trade. There was Hargreaves Lansdowne that was like £10 a trade. There was a few more like AJ Bell and stuff like that. There wasn't really any cheap ones. DEGIRO was one of the cheapest. Like you were paying at the time like £1 or something a trade, which was obviously massively cheaper. And it was also a pretty good platform. It had like loads of stocks on. It's like I think it is the biggest platform in Europe. So I was using them for ages, and then eventually Trading 212, which was more of a CDF platform, which obviously it still is, and it makes most of its money from. But I think it was like 2019, 2020. It started like doing like trades for like, you had like 5 or 10 trades free a month, and then eventually they made it unlimited. And then they brought the ISA function in, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, then I started splitting between ISA, Trading 212 and DEGIRO. So I use them two personally. So yeah. You know what? Hims is not a product, is not one that I have tried, but I will actually tell you that I know someone that has tried that product, and they were happy with that product. So yeah. Thoughts on TTCF? Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a disappointing 12 months-ish, I would say. They have underdelivered. The margins have been hit, but the thing is that you look at a lot of businesses, and a lot of margins have been hit on a lot of businesses, especially them that sell physical products. So it's not just a business issue; it's actually like a a worldwide industry issue. That anyone that sells physical products, I can kind of forgive that a little bit. The only thing I can kind of not forgive is that they've added the amount of locations or locations they sell out of by like 200%, and like the growth has only been like 20% last year. Should have been a lot higher than that. So disappointing. A few management things going on that I'm not a big fan of. So yeah, I was a bit unhappy with them for a fair bit. Recently, a little bit more bullish coming in now. And this is why I never really fully sold out of them, because I still think there could be something there. You look at before, 12, not the last 12 months, before that, the business was doing absolutely amazing. So, there's going to be sometimes periods of times where businesses go through a bit of a slump, and maybe that was it, and it comes back strong in the long term. And this new Walmart deal is obviously a major branding deal. That obviously will help gross margins with scale, because they're selling the tattoo brand more, which has the better margins, but also revenue should obviously go up as well. But we've seen that before and they haven't delivered, so we'll see what happens. If Tattoo Chef come out in Q4, which they say they're going to do, and put in like 40+% revenue growth, and at the same time then gross margins start coming back really strong, I'll actually be really bullish again on Tattoo Chef. So I'm a bit on the fence at the moment. I'll have a lot more better idea in Q4, because in Q4, if they don't deliver after this Walmart deal, then I think that's it. I think it's game over for them. So I think that's probably a big period for them. We've got the Gertz joining us, always in the comment section and videos. I do notice you. I one of my not New Year's resolutions, but midpoint of the year things to get better on is replying to YouTube comments. Normally I just can't. I do check them. I just can't get back to replying to them all. But I am trying to improve on it, and especially in the last few weeks, I've been trying to improve replying to some comments. So hopefully you notice that. I think it's rude if I just ignore them all the time. But I do read them, and I take everything that is said. I do read it all, and I take it on board. Boohoo at 43 today. It'll be the same as Friday because the markets were shut down. This could be 30 soon. We don't know. We'll have to go see someone with a crystal ball and see what they say. Anything can happen to stocks in the short term. It could be 80 soon. We don't know. Starbucks, a great dividend. Yeah, it's a good dividend stock. I mean, value on the valuation side of it, on the share price, I would like it a little bit cheaper. But yeah, it's got a pretty decent dividend yield, hasn't it? Lots of like 2% at the moment. You know, it's a great business. Legal and General thoughts, close to getting in that UK video. I own Legal and General already. Don't know if you've seen my portfolios, but I've owned Legal and General for about 2 years now. Collect a lovely dividend on it, decent share price. So yeah, I mean, it's not one that I can never see myself getting rid of at the moment. It's just a very stable dividend stock. There's a few in that sort of area at the moment. You know, like that. I think it was Admiral had a fair dip a few days ago. I say a few days ago, a few weeks ago, and that has a lovely dividend yield. By the way, I've noticed a lot of jumping in subscribers recently, and I don't know if that's because I'm covering a lot more UK stocks. That could potentially be it. So I don't know if to stick a little bit more down the UK path at the moment, because it seems like there's a lot of tension there. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, Admiral, I think that's probably one similar in the area that could be a little bit interesting to look at. Money Supermarket, I mean, that's something like a 4-5% dividend yield at the moment, and has pretty decent growth, probably a little bit more than Legal and General, but I think it's a little bit richer on a valuation. But yeah, you know what? I've never looked at it. Will you collab with Emmanuel Finance again? Potentially. I know Emmanuel isn't currently uploading videos anymore at the moment, but we actually talked on DM like 2-3 weeks ago about something. I can't even remember what it was about now. None of that in here. You look at them, they get 2 wins, and look at them. Nice. People still joining us here. Yeah, that's a typical one. I always say we're gonna do 30 minutes live Q&A sessions, and they end up going on way too high. Jay, to be honest with you, I would have to sit down and work it out. Pete says, "Who is not a good stock. Will you admit this now? It is down 9%. The company is offering nothing to shareholders." It depends what view you come at it now. Is Huye as good as a stock as what it was 2 years ago? No. 2 years ago, when I was buying that stock, were them issues clear where Huye was going to be? No. You know, the performance of Huye recently hasn't been because Huye has been a bad company. It's because, unfortunately, the Chinese government has stuck a bunch of regulation on it, and it's killed it. You know, I was talking about this on the Patreon the other day. He said the problem is at the moment is that something like Huye is just really hard to predict, because you've had basically, first of all, you have the combination with Douyu, and Douyu would have been absolutely amazing. You know, you would have had 90% of the market share, I think, in streaming in China, which is a major control of that. The cost savings, because they wouldn't have been battling away with each other, would have been absolutely amazing. And then Tencent would have been able to just directly feed the content to one supplier, would have been amazing for Tencent. So that would have been absolutely amazing. And then obviously the Chinese government turn around and say, nope, it's not happening. So you hit one thing there. You then have the Chinese government go, gaming, what we're going to do is we're going to limit the amount of gaming you're going to do. Boom. That's obviously going to put some strain on it. Then you have them coming out and say, the tips, the main reason that Huye make money, them tips are going to get restricted now. Main way that Huye make money. Boom. Another hit. Huye then try and go to more advertising revenue. What happens then? You have, COVID. I shouldn't say that on YouTube. I'm going to get demonetized for that. You have the CV happen. The CV happens and it keeps happening and pops up, and the economy slows down. The whole inflation gets out of control. Advertising starts getting cut. And then the way that Huye start moving to there, where you had, 100% advertising growth, and that gets cut. And then also in the mix there, you got, weak kind of, games launch at the moment. You got hard comps, all of them issues pressing on that stock. And the business is still performing very well. You look at the business, when you look at the recent earnings, the user growth was amazing. To say you're coming out of a CV situation and the user growth is still growing in that direction, the business is absolutely performing amazing. The problem is you've had all these restrictions slap it in the face, and you can price in that you're going to have maybe one of them things happen, but for all of them to happen, you're like, oh my days. Like you're not really, you don't really think this is going to, this, you can really predict this. So what you have now is you have Huya basically down 90% because you've had all them issues come on. The growth shrunk massively. But when you look at it here, the platform's still doing very well. You've still got a lot of users using the platform. It's not a dead platform. It's a total different situation if you're talking about a business where the platform's dead. That's a bad position. If you've got no one using that platform, then you're like, oh crap, this is bad. Like people aren't using this anymore. You've still got the users, and the users are growing. The more is how you make the money from them now, because they've had the tips killed off, the advertising killed off. So now you have to rotate and try and make the money back from that situation. And the great thing with Huya is they're sitting on, so much cash. So maybe that could be through, some sort of acquisition. Maybe they can, buy back shares, or I'm sure they're probably weighing this up. In my opinion, they should be a bit quicker with that. They should be, but hey. So I don't think it's a bad stock. I don't think it's a bad company. Sure, the share prices got killed, but when you look at the business itself, it's still very healthy. So I'm still pretty confident in it. Never seen that before. Normally, like trading to twos like that, it's really quick. We've got the compound investor joining us. I've seen you in the comments a lot recently as well, so shout out to you. What next for S4? I mean, at the moment, I think obviously people are worried about advertising, marketing budgets being cut. So, I mean, I think it's probably overdone. I don't think it should be, at these sort of levels that it is at the moment. But I think it's really cheap. This is you guys replying to the early ones about Rumble, is it? I probably after what happened with the eToro one, I probably wouldn't touch any more SPACs until they actually merged now. I try and see all the comments. Sometimes I don't. Honestly, if I get £1 for everyone that says that they said about a stock and it's gone up, honestly, I'd be so rich. Yeah, team 17. I know of loads of people interested in this one. I've just kind of sat back at the moment just because of what's going on in that gaming sector. I've got the kind of exposure through like Corsair, for example, and I'm just kind of seeing back and see how it goes going forward. So I am watching it, but I think because it's having quite a bit of a slowdown, I'm just kind of standing off it and seeing what's happening now. I kind of do have exposure through there, through kind of like, I know it's not obviously Chinese, but Alibaba, for example. But I just don't want to get too exposed to international markets. If I was ever wanting to have probably more exposure through international markets, I'd probably just buy an ETF, because trying to keep on top of like different economies and everything is just a lot of work. Like, I feel like if you're going to invest in certain economies, you've got to kind of be on it and know what's going on. So yeah, I probably if I was going to touch it more international markets, probably through an ETF. Rio Tinto, I never looked into it properly. I know a lot of people are a big fan of it and love it as a dividend stock. Shopify, yep, own it. Great company in my opinion. Tesla, buy after split. I think it's a fantastic company. On the valuation, would like it a little bit cheaper, to be honest with you. And I worried about Train 2. What would happen to 5 years down the line? Are we able to transfer ISIS from Train 2 to another platform? I mean, I don't know I'm not sure, Ross, what you mean by am I worried? Like, investing, I'm guessing it's probably like to the safety of the platform. Safety of the platform, I don't know if you ever looked at the company's accounts. They don't lose money. The platform's really profitable. They've got a good cash balance. So Trading 212 are very safe as a business to be investing in. They're a very safe broker. If you want to transfer your ISA, can't speak, to another platform, you can do. But you'll have to let me know what part you're worried about. If it's financially in the platform, they're very safe on a balance sheet wise, business point of view as well. Thoughts on recession? I thought we already had been on a crash, but so much footage still there. Still, yeah. I mean, we are kind of going through a bit of a softening patch, aren't we? The big issue that a lot of people have at the moment is how much is that recession going to be? That's the big issue. Like at the moment, me personally, I'm kind of thinking that recession's a bit of a softer one. There's a lot of people out there that are shouting out that it's going to be a deep recession, and that's the million thing. The £1,000,000 question. The problem is that the big thing that will really affect a recession is job numbers. That's what you got to be staring at. Jobs numbers is key, because if jobs start getting, if the amount of employment starts dropping, that's when you need to get worried. That's when you need to get worried, because if the employment drops massively, then that's when you have defaulting loans. That's when you have people, especially not going out and spending money in the economy. That's the bad situation. So that's the key number to be staring at the moment. Hi Jacob, it's Simon from college. Simon, I hope you're well. No problem, man. Drop me a DM afterwards. Thoughts on Skillz? Yeah, Skillz, mate. One of the stocks that's been disappointing in the last 12 months. Bad management decisions. They spent crazy on marketing in the last kind of 6 months, 12 months, spent way too much on marketing, where a lot of businesses benefited from the CV situation, and then took a lot of hard comps in. Oh, my face looks really pink and purple, by the way. It's because I've got a light down here, and it's quite pink and purple, and that's why it comes on here. Someone mentioned it in one of the videos a while ago. Don't think it's me going too pink from talking or purple from talking. Thoughts on Skillz? Yeah, what was I saying about it? Marketing. So basically, the big thing that management made a mess up of is they basically in 2021, instead of taking really hard comps that a lot of businesses did, they went crazy on marketing. Because they went crazy on marketing, they gave themselves even harder comps that they couldn't keep up because the marketing was unsustainable. That's now gone into 2022. They've now had to cut the marketing, and that's why we're seeing such a dump off in like revenue and profit, and having to do this whole restructuring plan. So a bit of a mess up from the platform itself there. They should have just took hard comps, pushed the profitability last year, and they hadn't done it, and now it's even harder for them this year. However, the platform itself, you've still got a platform that has gross margins of 91% or something. You've still got a platform that's very good through esports, that kind of competitive side of it, playing people. So you've still got a decent platform there. You've still got a product that has really good gross margins there. Cash-wise, I think they're still sitting on like 500 million cash. The business is worth something like 300. Is it 300 million right now? So that's still, pretty okay from that point of view. Also, it doesn't help they've made a few other little errors through management as well, like the India launch not being as successful as what it should have been. But overall, like, there's still a decent platform there. You've still got a platform that is pretty good from gross margins point of view. It's just about now taking the tough comps, moving forward, and turning that platform back around to more the success that it had in 2019, 2020. So, yeah. Billy says, what's your method of keeping track of latest news on companies? So I've got a few ways. I've got a few apps that have trackers on. So there's, for example, one's like Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha, you can have like a watch list. So I had like, let's just say DraftKings in there. And if there's ever anything posted about DraftKings, I get a notification saying, oh, so-and-so about DraftKings, and I'll probably read it there. There's a few other websites that you can do. Sometimes just a quick Google search. Sometimes, or definitely the best addition in the last 2 years has been the Discord. So if you join through the Patreon, I do 2 exclusive videos a week there. As well there's a Discord, and it's got 500 members on, 600 members on, and with 600 members on there that are just pinging different news articles through. It's very good to keep on top on through there, because everyone can helps each other out really. So that's really took a lot of pressure off me in the last 2 years. So that's another great way as well. I think 30 is something around 30, I think. If you're ever stuck, just go to the portfolio reviews and count them up. When do you think Boohoo will hit a share price of £1 again? No idea. Obviously, if I knew that, then I'd load the boat before it went to £1. The key thing for it to get to £1 is to come out with a decent trading update. I think we won't get any good momentum until trading 2 Boohoo bring out a good trading update. That's the key thing, whether it's good revenue growth again through US, through UK. If it's through logistic issues, they're starting to resolve, we're starting to get back to profitability. They have to bring something out that's positive. And the next trading update is the 28th of September. I think it's the 28th. It's something in September, back end of September. And it's going to be key for them in that update to bring something positive out. If they don't bring any kind of positive news out, then I can't see them driving that share price forward. And then we'll have to probably wait until the next one to get some positive momentum. Ben says, Turtle Beach or Corsair? Probably Corsair because it's less reliant on gaming headsets. What's my opinion on Royal Mail stocks? I can understand people taking a punt on it right now. My only issue that it's very thin margin and a lot of competition creeping in there. But I don't blame you. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I just don't know if I'm confident enough personally to buy it for me. Don't know them that well, James. Very sorry. Thoughts on Airbnb? Love it. Valuation just a little bit cheaper for me if it could. Yeah, I'm a shareholder of Legal & General. Potentially, yeah, it could benefit from it, but the thing is that Legal & General is so covered in so many areas that as one area might benefit, one area of it actually could deteriorate in a slowing economy, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I never really kind of play it from a macro kind of point of view. I kind of just look at it from a long-term stability point of view. And I think that Legal & General is well diverse and well covered. That it'll be okay in the long term. And I just know that it won't be a crazy growth. Valuation probably never go crazy high, but will it be sustainable for the dividend? I think so. Intel on this dip, not for me. They have obviously turnaround plans. At the moment, they are very struggling to, very good English, huh? They are struggling to deliver them turnaround plans. They're getting absolutely destroyed by AMD. And for me to buy Intel, I would have to see some proof that they are catching up to AMD. So I am personally wait until I see the turnaround play actually being executed. And then I'll potentially get it. We've got Goldie joining us, a regular there. Mentioned about TTCF a little bit earlier in the chat, but I'm not buying any more until I see evidence that management can deliver on revenue. Because obviously, as we've seen, the last 12 months haven't been the best execution from the management team on revenue. I think they'll be okay in gross margins because I think that's a worldwide thing. And I think a lot of businesses, Boohoo, for example, will resolve that issue eventually. The key thing is seeing the demands there. And that's what I was speaking about earlier. I think it was about Hugh, yeah. The big issue you want to be worried about is if a company has no demand. Gross margins, logistic issues can be resolved in longer term. It's all short-term issues. Your big problem is if you have a business and they've got a demand issue. And what says to me at the moment is if this is a business that should be growing at 30% and they're bringing quarters out where they have 15% growth, there's a demand issue. And I don't want to be touching that. So, yeah. Expectations on Boohoo results. Just hopefully, we know it's not going to be a good quarter. Just a bit more positivity, like growth has improved is the key words that we're looking for. Logistic issues have improved. That's what we're looking for. Those would be the key things that me and I'd say a lot of investors are looking for. Not looked at Under Armour recently. If you say if it's worth a buy, if I remember, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's a fair point. I've just noticed in particular, like there's a lot of demand for UK stocks, so um, maybe I'll do a bit more videos on them. Oh, it's a combination of a lot of things: videos, reading, um, loads of things. On average, I invest £200 into a company a month. In your opinion, is £200 worth it, or would you save up for a few months then invest a larger amount, taking into account the share price could go? Honestly, as I always say, like the best thing, just dollar cost average. Dollar cost average. That's what I personally do. Time never time the market, but Neil can do it. There you go. Um, I've we talked about here a little bit earlier as well. But I'd have to see how they kind of remonetize the business after the issues that they've had, which we talked about a little bit earlier. I'll have a look. I'll try and remember. Yeah, this is what I was mentioning on the video actually yesterday about rising prices. Potentially, that's why we've seen so much negativity in the UK stocks more than the US stocks. I mean, US stocks have been a little bit more negative in the last 2 weeks after a good run. Um, but yeah, potentially just the negativity of that. These are more price impacts that will affect businesses. That potentially that's why they've been going down a little bit more. But yeah, you look at some businesses that probably won't be affected by that much, and even they're still going down. So I don't know. That's good news to hear. I didn't realize they launched it. That's good news. Don't worry, Harry. When this video is finished, you should be able to go back to the start and you should be able to watch the whole replay again. So yeah, I'm just skipping. There's a few of you guys asking a few questions that we talked about earlier in the stream. So if I do skip your question, the reason why is because I think we mentioned it earlier in the stream, and you should be able to catch this stream again from the start. So yeah. Thoughts on Amazon buying up iRobot? Yeah, we were talking about this on the Discord when it happened like 2 weeks ago. I actually think it's a good purchase for Amazon. I also think they got it for a really good valuation as well. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good move. Halfords, yeah, I think we talked about this on the Discord as well. Could be an interesting one because Halfords has actually been a little bit interesting recently. They've kind of obviously it's a pretty decent valuation. I think they pay you quite a decent dividend. They've bought some businesses, bought a lot of competition at the moment. Should give them a little bit more growth going forward as well. Obviously, a few people have, not a big fan of Halfords. If you ever say to someone like, "Oh, I'm taking my car for a service in Halfords," there'll be the odd couple of people that go, "No, no, no, don't take it there." But yeah, it could be an interesting one. I think for sure. I think you're in a good place looking at it. It's one that I personally need to look at. This is the thing. Like honestly, this is it. You get so many stocks thrown at you every day. You're like trying to look at stocks. It's hard to always get them all done. I think we're already in a recession. I would say. Um, Thoughts on Hollyball? Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Good valuation, good dividend. I'm a big fan of it. It's the last stock that I actually bought myself. Card Factory, yeah, same again. I'm potentially thinking of picking a bit more Card Factory up. Um, it's kind of getting valued back at kind of towards CV levels. When you think about that, peak CV, the stores were shut, high street was struggling, and now you look at the recent earnings. The recent earnings are pretty good. The debt's getting a lot better, which was the bigger risk to it. I always said it was one of my high risk positions because it has the debt. They're sorting that balance sheet out there quite a little bit. So yeah, it's still got that risky side because it does have that debt side to it. But I think when you look at the valuation side of it, it's not bad at all. Looked at it in a while ago. It was actually really interesting. Hard comps. So basically, let's take, I don't know, let's just say Corsair, for example. Corsair had, really good numbers in 2020. Everyone was staying at home. Everyone ordered mouse, keyboards. headsets. Sales were absolutely amazing. The profit margins were really good. Now, a year on, you know, you can't really repeat that process. So the numbers are really hard to kind of, you know, beat because it had that one-off situation that won't ever happen again. And you got to factor that in. And then over a long term, hope that, you know, balances out from them really helping hand to hand from that CV numbers. Any thoughts on Gang's B2C president resigning? I didn't notice that. I'm not a big follower of the business, so don't really know too much about it. Build a Bear, you know, I think a few people a while ago were talking about Build a Bear stock. It's actually, you know, you think it's a bit like a card factory. It's one of those stocks that you kind of disregard, you know, straight away. And actually, when you look at the business itself, it's actually doing quite good things. So I don't know it that well. I know a few people are big fans of it. I think it's one of those stocks that does surprise you. I can't remember. It's all going off the top of my head. So I think it's one of those stocks when you actually look at the business, the financial actually performing really amazing. So it could be worth a look. And I think, if I remember correctly, people have only said good things about it. So potentially. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we kind of know about the profit issue that they kind of mentioned. So hopefully it hasn't got any worse, and hopefully that revenue growth is still very strong. Those are probably the key things to be looking at. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the smallest business I personally have, but yeah, it would be very volatile. You have to be very careful of that. Like you'll very easily see stocks moving. You know, you could see the stock move 50%. Easy, and that's the thing with a lot of these small caps. So yeah, just be very careful. Thank you very much. You know, I notice. I just noticed this comment below it. See what I mean? See what I mean about people are negative towards frauds. You know, so there we go. You know, I never looked. I saw it IPO'd a while ago. I looked at it. I don't know what the reason was. Weren't too much a big fan of it. I know it's been absolutely killed on share price, but no, I've not really looked at it, to be honest with you. I've heard a few people mention this, and I've heard them only talk positive things about it. So potentially, yeah, I should have a look at it. I've heard a few people mention positive things about it. So yeah. Right, guys, I said we are going to do this for half an hour. We ended up doing it for 42 minutes. So I'm going to call it there, guys. So hopefully that made up for not doing a video today. I said I would do a video. I didn't think it was going to be live stream, but it turned out to be. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching it. If you did join late, the replay should be on. If it's not on, I'll make sure it's on very soon for you guys to watch from the start. I know a few guys were mentioning stocks that we talked about earlier, so you'll be able to check them out when we did speak about them. So yeah, I'll probably see you on a live stream in probably like another year's time on the main channel. But if you do want more, like I said, I think we do like two live Q&A sessions on the Patreon every month. So if you do want them more regularly, that's the place to be. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, and yeah, I'll see you on tomorrow's video. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about just yet. I was kind of planning a Revolution Beauty video today, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow, unless anything kind of crazy happens in the news. Then I might switch to that. We have the UK stock market back open, so maybe that'll help. Some news that comes out that they've been waiting for after the weekend. So yeah, we'll see what happens there anyway, guys. But yeah, thanks for joining anyway, especially on the bank holiday. And yeah, I'll catch you in a bit.